older. No matter what you say or what you do, and I'm alone, I'd rather be with you. Forget the motherfuckers, I'll be right by your side till 2005. Older. Hold on.
Welcome to Rage, you nerds. I am Mr. Cack, and this is my brother, Jared. But
hello.
To better set this up, let's do this. Because it's us, we're brothers, there's two of us, so I think we should do this right here. Hold on, here we go.
Yo, it's the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's the game. Found the secret water zone while working on the drain. Lend the princess a hand in the mushroom land. Join the action with the plumbers, you'll be hooked on the brothers. Now, Evil Koopa and his troopers are up to misbehaving. They kidnapped the princess, mushroom land needs saving. Abusing and confusing, everybody discovers they can't help but be hooked on the brothers.
This is some of the whitest kids you know shit happening on this stream right now.
I have questions.
I don't have answers. All I know is it's another episode of the Super Cagle Bros because TJ, not feeling well's out. Reno has been absent on Fridays for God knows how long. B-Hall never answers the call. So it's just the two brothers, man.
It's just us.
Just the brothers.
Just the brothers.
Not the brothers of destruction. Fun. Not the brothers of destruction, right? Like, I wish we were Kane and Taker.
Well, see, the problem with that is that both of them people are 7 foot tall, and we're not.
It's legitimately the only reason why I wish we were the brothers of destruction. Oh my gosh, look at that! Reno!
I wish I was taller.
Reno appears in chat. F you, I've been
But
absent.
not on the stream. He's like, oh, I'm gonna chat you, but I ain't gonna be on no video, man.
I'm not gonna do that newfangled vidges. Listen, I got a secret to make. I got a confession to make. I put all my tequila at the bottom of my cup and took my first swig, and guess what? Boy, was I not ready for that. Nor was my voice ready to do the Foo Fighters. Like, I don't think I was ready to do that.
Speaking of tequila, I have not had. Listen, hey, just so you know, I have not had any tequila. But what I have had is about. Well, okay, I had one left over from yesterday, so I don't know where we're at now. But it should be fun. But for this stream, I have brought out the Yingling Hershey's, sponsored by Yinglings. It's like a candy bar in a bottle that tastes like good stuff. So hopefully for the rest of this show, I can, kind of calm her down there.
My mom apparently hated that shit.
Well, your mom hates candy bars.
That's fair. She probably does. If she eats a candy bar, she may have to run it off. So
exactly. By the way, those of you who are watching, we have the same dad, different moms.
Yeah. Quit being judgmental, asshole. It's 2020.
Exactly, you jerk faces.
Don't kink shame our dad for what he did. He loved. Our father was a lover. Let him love. Damn you.
I know he's not watching tonight because he's out in the woods somewhere trying to kill a deer.
Oh, he's at deer camp? No. He does clean up, drinking, and I think a cook. Maybe occasionally cooks.
He's out in the woods in a bus while other people are killing deer, and he's killing bush lights. Listen, I have said to my friends, if you need someone, or maybe I haven't told Reno this. Reno, if you need someone to go with you to deer camp that will cook food and, maybe tidy up, but will ultimately just drink alcohol, I'm your man. I don't need to go in the tranquility of nature and try to, hunt down the game. I need to take a nap in the middle of the day, and I need to drink, and I'll make food, Because it's outside skillet meals, so you're getting a shit ton of eggs. Like, you're getting a shit ton of eggs and meat fried up. So I hope you're prepared for that. That's a thing.
But yeah,
somebody's eating good.
Yeah,
this weekend.
super,
Somebody's eating good this
Super Cagle Bros. We're here. It's brothers.
I
Yay!
like it.
Yeah. Well, so we've got a couple of things to talk about, but before we do that, I'm gonna take another swig of the old tequila in a cup.
Stop looking at me, Schwan. What?
So there's gonna be a theme for tonight, and the biggest overall theme of tonight, if you're not following us on Facebook, because I forget to update Twitter at times, if you're not following us on Facebook, which means you're probably not above the age of 22, if you're not following us on Facebook, we have been rapid fire releasing all of the breaking news from comicbook.com and MovieWeb, which is essentially this. This is the summation of news at the end of 2020. In the future, there will be a sequel to series that are 20 years old. So we've had several movies break recently confirming or wrapping up their next iteration, usually coming within a 20 to 30 year hiatus. Albuterol Man, welcome there, brother. Albuterol Man, can I say this? Can I say this, Albuterol Man? You have just some very lovely family photos that you've posted on Facebook, and you have an amazing mustache. Probably one of the best mustaches I have seen in my actual friend group. So, kudos to you, Albuterol Man. And your cute family, and your very adorable family. All right. Let's see. Thank you. See the shirt. Take a closer look. Oh, no, I didn't. So I guess I need to go back and take a closer look at that shirt there, buddy boy. All right, let's remove this. Let's
Black and black. What?
Let's do this.
What?
Let's get rid of this.
What?
Here we go. Go. So nerdy news. So these are things that we're not going to necessarily fixate on for too long, but we'll still talk about. Where'd the current rage thing go?
Okay.
What happened, current rage? Why did you decide?
No, why are you asking me?
Why did it decide to just we're not existing now? There we are.
Current rage.
The current rage. Fuck you. He's sucking your dick, so you'll give him a handy J for Thanksgiving. I don't know who Reno's lashing out right now. I don't know who Reno's lashing out at right now, but if money's involved, so me and my brother talked about this previously. If money's involved, if I'm getting paid something, I do have a threshold. It's not necessarily the highest threshold, but I'm just saying. to allude to a previous conversation off stream.
To allude to a previous conversation.
To allude to something a little bit scandalous.
All we're saying is we can explain away a certain amount.
Yeah, no, you double my paycheck. We could have some transitional action occur, right?
What's that?
Albuterol Man resubscribing 9 months. We just had a baby. Congratulations, Albuterol Man. And he just had a baby, so congratulations, Albuterol Man.
Baby is a cute little girl. She's gonna be a princess one day. I feel it, man. I feel it.
So his resubscribe says, Deadpool 3 is moving forward, and I can't be more excited. Keep up the great streams and allowing me to come talk with you about sports and geek stuff. Oh my gosh, Albuterol Man, any freaking time. Any freaking time. I mean, we're in here giving life advice to MSM Wyatt. Just kind of debriefing on all the shenanigans that may or may not happen, like catching fire and getting an awesome meal from his mother, or the mother of his baby mama. And so there's like that. And then we've got Manager Juan. We've uplifted him earlier this week. We've got Rooster. We are just kind of the clarity moment between his mushroom trips and strip club visits. And so Albuterol Man, glad we do that. There's that fucking Handy J. Reno, I don't know why you're trashing the stream. You work as part of this group. You son of a bitch. So we've also got
son of a bitch.
So we've got freeloaders like Reno who just, got grandfathered into the process of the stream and just kind of mooches off of it now, just getting his face on TV and things and what have you. Like anyone's watching us on TV, wouldn't that be weird? Also, Twitch doesn't stream on TV because it doesn't show up on Roku, and I'm pretty sure it's not on like Apple TV either. So
no, it's not, because we say words like fuck.
Oh, damn. Well, maybe one day we'll clean up our act.
There's a license you can buy for that, though.
Maybe one day we'll clean up our act. I'm not doing it anytime today.
No, me neither. I'm going to drink this.
Reno says, ahem, excuse the fuck outta me. Actually, without the second T, it's more like, oota.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
He's a Viking.
Yeah, well.
I did not know that Reno was a Viking.
I don't think Reno
knows
knows that.
Know.
So, okay, so I didn't have Deadpool as one of the topics, so let's go ahead and talk about that. So, since Albuterol Man brought it up and resubscribed, so we're very thankful for that as well. Deadpool 3 is moving forward with Disney, but with new writers. So, Ryan Reynolds still attached as actor and producer, but there will be new writers. And the new writers for this are relatively new named writers. So they're writers, I believe, that have only written for TV shows.
Okay.
So I don't know. So let me pull up their credentials right quick to see if we're concerned about this. So let's see. It's two sisters. Hey, we're brothers and they're sisters. So the new writers for Deadpool 3 have worked on Bob's Burgers for several years. That's essentially their biggest claim to fame. The biggest highlight of their career is writing for Bob's Burgers. I like Bob's Burgers, so I'm not inherently disinterested with that. I'm curious as to where the humor goes with Deadpool 3 under the Disney 20th century production studio, because I still don't know if they're ready to just go into something that's incredibly raunchy just yet.
Right, and that's totally Deadpool. The raunchy.
He got pegged in the second one. There was a montage dedicated to him getting pegged, which I'm not saying is wrong. Listen, if you want to stimulate your prostate, hell yeah, brother, you go ahead. I'm just saying I don't know if Disney is ready for pegging in their lineup. And who in that relationship is the Disney princess? I don't know if we're ready to cross all of those bridges necessarily.
I don't know who's pitching and who's catching, but I will say...
But his lady friend is very attractive. Very attractive.
That's a good point, though. Where does Disney go to the point where they, like, keep it Deadpool, but Disney it up? I don't know. I just...
Shut up, Reno.
I don't hold out hope, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of interested to see where this is going.
Yeah. So there has to be some. It has to be R-rated. I don't know how they get through it.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
maybe Disney's kind of hope is, well, we bring in these two sisters who are known for writing for Bob's Burger, which is adult entertainment on Fox, but doesn't go too over the top with it. It's enough that we can still put it on broadcast television. So maybe they're hoping to make a very strongly worded PG-13 film, which I am terrified of. I need just a guy that gets his arms ripped off and grows baby arms, because we've already done baby legs, so now we need baby arms. We need a lot of horrific sexual innuendo. It just has to be Deadpool, otherwise I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, I think Deadpool is Deadpool, and if you deviate from that, it's not Deadpool. So I think he's got to be his character. So if Disney doesn't embrace that, fine. But if they want to sell what their product is going to be, they've got to find a way to do it to where it's still Deadpool, but a PG Deadpool. I don't know if they can do that.
Well, eventually they have to rip off the Band-Aid of it being something R-rated, just because the 20th century production side, I can't imagine they will be a tamed production. And they may have already released something that is more R or closer to an R rating. I just don't know. I haven't really been keeping track ever since everything became absorbed by Disney of what was already being built, what wasn't. Let's see. Albuterol Man says, I've met her, so he's met the lady that... So... I know that, most people know her from Deadpool, but she was also in Gotham as one of the main love interest of Jim Gordon, and I thought she was great in that too. I thought all of his love interests were great in that too, and pretty much I liked all the characters. I just didn't like the story of Gotham at times. I think that was probably the weirdest thing. Let's see. Reno says this is the same company that fucked up Star Wars. Just saying they can find a way to fuck it up. Well,
yeah.
Thank you, Sunshine. Man, Reno. I didn't realize we brought in Grumpy Reno. I didn't know this was what's Cloudy Gray Day Reno. I didn't. God, wow.
Hang on though. I'm inclined to agree with him.
But this is also the same company that created The Mandalorian. So Reno,
That's also true.
There's hope for everything. They also created Lion King. And everyone loved Lion King, and there was that one time where all of the parents were upset because when Simba laid down in the tall grass, the little grass thing shot up in the air and it spelled "Go have sex, teenagers" or whatever stupid thing, where it was like subliminally hypnotizing all of us, because no one has felt hornier than watching The Lion King. I promise you that.
I'm telling you, that moment where the female lion lays down on Simba and licks his face, I thought to myself, yeah.
Can we talk about something that's really fucked up about The Lion King? If it was okay, so this is you have to, so it's a cartoon where people talk, right? So you have to suspend, belief for all of it. But if this was a true lion pride, Nala would be at the best. Well, yes, dead, because Scar would have wiped out all the young. But at the best, that would be his cousin. At the worst, that's his sister, because there's only really one mating male in a pride. So Simba and Nala would be related.
I've never thought of it that way, and now I find myself.
It's very incestuous.
Defeated because I was so aroused.
Well, I mean, that's what Lion King does to you. Lion King arouses you, and then, there's the soft undertones of, is this an incestuous relationship I'm supporting?
Boy, he's banging his sister.
All right, let's see. Kmart says, sup, motherfuckers? Welcome, Kmart. Albuto Man says, Ryan Reynolds said he is hand in hand with Feig, in which he believes it will be R-rated. Okay, cool. Lions getting piped, and Lions said they're from Alabama. Yeah, well, okay. Yeah. As long as we can take a shot at Alabama. Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Dr. Pepper, Roll Tide! I love Dr. Pepper, but SEC overly promotes Dr. Pepper, so it just seems like you're just roll tiding into Dr. Pepper commercial. All right, so we've got Deadpool. We're interested. I will officially state I'm excited once we get a confirmation, a hard confirmation that this will be an R-rated endeavor. And then I'll be fine. Because that's all I want, because it's not Deadpool without that, because it just needs to be. And if anyone says, well, you don't have to be over-the-top crude to make a movie. Yes, you do when making Deadpool. That is the point. So,
why would you do it otherwise?
Yeah, I don't know. So this isn't a reboot, but a resurrection of sorts, as Robert Englund has been confirmed added to the cast of Stranger Things 4. So the question to you is, how many Freddy Krueger references will be in Stranger Things Season 4?
None. None. And I'll tell you why. Robert Englund is such a icon that they can pull that off without any Nightmare references. They can, and it's gonna be if they do, it will be subtle, and it will be so subtle that anyone who hasn't seen that series will be like, "What happened? What was he talking about? Was he talking about a dream child?" They'll never know. But I don't think he is, because he's done so much. He's done so many other things horror related where he's never referenced that, and I don't think it is. I think you could make him a manager at the pretzel place in the mall, and people are just going to be happy, myself included, to just see him in there in some creepy form. It's like, hi, yeah, we'd like 2 pretzels. and one with sprinkles, and one with no salt. Oh, you would, huh? You know, just
Yeah.
he can do anything. He's just an icon. And if you don't know who he is, then you're not going to enjoy this at all. You're not. If you're a Stranger Things lover, you're going to miss out on this completely if you don't know who Robert Englund is.
So who do you...
Because he's so subtle.
What character type do you think Robert Englund will play in Stranger Things 4?
Oh, gosh. Well, okay. So, spoiler alert.
Oh, I have one of those things. There we go.
Find it quick. Find it quick.
Okay, I did it.
Okay. Okay, so let's think of what did we just finish? 4? Season 4?
No, this will be season 4.
This will be season 4. Okay.
Mhm.
So, spoiler alert, the way season 4 ended, which the time thing collapses and there's electricity and it's all Highlander, and Jim may or may not be alive. We don't know. We do know, but we don't know. Let's go back to 1985, 1984, 1985, and I could see him. Damn, this is tough because he could do so many things. He could appear as like Freddy. I mean, he could really, because I mean, the first time on Elm Street came out in 83. So he could be Robert Englund as Freddy coming to the small hometown to sign autographs, or he could be Robert Englund, the shop owner, who is selling watches. I don't know. This is, man, what would... I guess it depends on the context of season 4, because every season has that one thing that's kind of in the background. It's the main point, but we don't want you to know about it until the last 2 episodes. If I had to vote right now, I'd say he's Eleven's father.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Well, or a relative.
Yeah,
We'll go relative.
Yeah, because
Somehow
we saw
he
what? We
got
saw the
in-
mother in season 3, right? The traumatized mother.
Yes. So
That was either 3 or 2. Okay. Yeah.
Was it?
It might have been 2 when she was in like the rebellious 80s stage and she was like going through her goth, dystopian future teenage phase.
Like, I want to fuck shit up, eh?
I got greasy hair because that's how every dystopian teenage group was in the 80s.
I know we talked about it a couple weeks ago, but by the way, it's like if you watch Stranger Things and watch her and you're like, oh my gosh, she's awesome. And then you watch Enola Holmes, you're like, oh my god, she's even more amazing. She's such a good actor. I love her. And like she could be in something like Enola Holmes reads the Bible. And I'm like, okay, yes, I'll watch. She just carries herself in such a way where you're drawn to her. Yeah. Everybody in that show is awesome. And I don't like Winona Ryder, but she is awesome in the show. Like there's not a person other than the blonde-haired, I can't remember his name. Damn it, he was like, he's got the tattoo. He's the redhead sister.
Billy.
Yes, Billy. So like even
everyone's
Billy,
heartthrob, Billy.
Yes. So like even Billy, you're like, I hate Billy.
But he's
and
sexy.
Then like later in, you're like, yeah, I hate Billy. But god dang,
but if he
sexy man.
But if he winked at me just right, we're having sex.
But I mean, don't you get that feeling from everyone in that show? You're like, I don't know about that guy, but I like him. I don't know about that person, but I kind of like him. And then like Paul Reiser in season 2.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser for Aliens. You know, the guy who screwed Sigourney Weaver and Newt. And he put an alien in there. It's like in Aliens, you're like, if I met him, I say we grease this rat fuck son of a bitch right now. And then in Stranger Things, you're like, hang on. Hey, he's a shyster, but I like him. So like, there's nobody. I guess what I'm saying is, bottom line, Stranger Things, like, there's not going to be a character introduced where you just hate them.
Yeah. You're
going to be like, he's strange, but I'll give him a chance. Even with Billy, I'm like, nah, Billy's got a good side.
Well,
Billy's got a good side.
So Kmart says, okay, but fuck Billy's toxic ass. All right, and Kmart cheered when
Billy came through.
So Kmart cheered when Billy sucked the cock of fucking death.
I don't know if he quite did that.
I mean,
dabbed.
I guess everything that is kind of elongated in a tentacle format is kind of phallic in nature, so I probably not too terribly wrong, I guess. Right?
Well, no.
There's a lot of phallic references throughout the course of everything that's ever been created. As man, we can't help but draw dick pictures. So everything is some form of dick killing something, right?
Well, and in Billy's defense, it was kind of like he woke up and was like, "No, you can't kill my sister."
Okay, so here's my thing: is so how much redemption does a truly a character that has moved, if not past redemption, to at least very irredeemable qualities? So I get it. I felt bad for Billy too, but I wonder how much of that is just like this weird, messed up notion of everyone in that moment of choosing the right thing at death's door, you feel sympathetic for, but is that just us as humans trying to validate, okay, so he died for a purpose? Because otherwise, he was an ass, man. He was, let's be real, pretty much an irredeemable ass. And like you could validate that, you know, most of that season he was under the influence of the mind flayer. But at the same time, was the mind flayer really digging its hooks into him, or was it just pushing to the surface toxic traits that were literally there?
Okay, I have an answer. Yes and no. Because he's an asshole because you see the way his stepfather. There's that one scene. I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's the tough thing too.
Let me finish, bro. Let me finish. All it took was that one little thing to make you go, damn, this guy's disturbed. And it's probably not, he's probably been pushed to be disturbed. Maybe he's being an asshole and pushing people away because someone was an asshole to him and he doesn't know any other way to act. And that final moment where he comes through and says, no, you're not going to do this, like, bro, or whatever. Don't get me wrong. He was my least favorite character in the show, and I'm kind of glad he's dead. Anyway, but I feel like he was one of those characters everybody was like, you just kind of waited for him to get it. You kind of waited for him to get his. And then when he kind of redeemed himself, you're like, well, that's cool, but he was still a jerk, you know? Yeah. And I don't know. I feel like he had, it touched on so many other demons that he might have had that made him the way he was. And the same way with other hair guy who likes the chocolate chip girl who's a lesbian. You get that a lot in the first couple of seasons. He's like, he doesn't know any other way to get girls than to be cool. Most of them like the fact that he's trying to be cool.
Bye, Reno.
But at the end, he's not really cool. He's just kind of a dude, you know? And then, yeah, he does cool things. So that's the kind of thing I got from Billy, is like, he had so much inner turmoil that it made a perfect target for this thing to latch onto, to expand on that inner turmoil to get what it wanted to do. Then at the end of it, Billy says, wait, no, I'm not going to let you do this. He kind of stands up and be's a man. Be's a man. He stands up and be's a man. Yeah. He stands up and is a man for the first time, which is poetic because it's ultimately the only time and the last time. So I never hated his character. I wanted him to go away. And then when it happened the way it happened, I was like, I don't like that, but damn, that was good. I kind of miss him now, even though he's dead. You know, Stranger Things is one of the best shows right now as far as the writing goes. It's absolutely brilliant. One of the best ones I've seen in 25 years. Everything has one little thing. It's kind of like, this is minute. Don't pay attention. Ha ha ha. And then 3 episodes later, you're like, oh my God, that was significant. They are so good at doing that, and that's kind of what I got from Billy. So, anyways,
Yeah.
you're like, whatever. He was
I
an
mean,
asshole.
I get it, right? Like I get it, right? They made it clear that he was a product, at least partially, of abuse, and that definitely messes you up, right? That's
Absolutely.
definitely an understandable thing because there are statistics that show those that are abused tend to go on and abuse themselves. It just that's a rough thing. That's a messy thing. That's a real thing. So I can appreciate the writing of that, but at times that also makes it challenging, right? Because how much sympathy should you feel for Billy can definitely be a very long argument people can have around the water cooler in a non-pandemic era. So I get it, but at the same time, like, I don't know, just something about a character whose redeeming quality comes literally when they're dying. It's always, that's great, and that's positive, and you can feel sympathy for someone dying because he is someone's brother.
But where were you?
But at the same time, like, man, there are a lot of missteps that and it gets really confusing, right? He's kind of like Henry Bowers from the It series. Because except Henry doesn't offer any redeemable qualities. Henry is all pushed as negative he can be. So maybe he's more like the Sutherland character from, so was it Kiefer Sutherland's character from Stand By Me? The brother that pulls out the switchblade. Wow. I'm gonna stab you. I'm gonna gut you like a pig, or whatever the fuck he says to those poor kids as he's chasing them down. So like,
wow, you reach way back for that one.
Oh, it's just Stephen King. I'm Stephen King living, y'all. Bob was a true hero. I just miss Bob. So Alburo Man, Kmart, love Bob. We love Bob. Maybe Bob makes some weird return at some point. Maybe the spirit of Bob comes and destroys the Mind Flayer for us. So I never got to answer what I thought Robert Englund might be. And I promise you this will not be what Robert Englund is going to be, but boy, would I love it. And if you listen to what I have to say, maybe I will convince you to love it as well.
Let's hear it.
So you have Robert Englund. And I think what everyone thinks is he'll probably be some kind of villain type character because he's most notably known for being Freddy Krueger. So I think the show is going to move opposite of that. I think they're going to make him something that isn't Freddy Krueger or bad. But what I would do if I was the show is I would make him bad. And how I would make him bad is by making him the host, the human in this world, the non-upside down host of the Mind Flayer. So we've seen the Mind Flayer try to force itself into our world. We've seen it try to possess people. I think he finally gets a true host, an adult host, someone, and maybe this is Russian. Maybe he's someone over in Russia where they've been working with this shit for God knows how long. And he's a scientist that has been infected since day one and has just been cultivating it within. And now he is more of what they're trying to get. I think if you make him a terrifying, possessed monster human, I think you're venturing down a good path. I'd love to see it. But in all reality, I think Robert Englund will be some helper or at least some side character that aids the young children, which by this point will be in their like 20s.
Yes, but he's not. Yeah, right. They're all 25 years old. I halfway agree with you, halfway don't. I feel like he can play a good character and still be ominous. And that's the thing that Robert Englund can do better than any actor out there. You can be the good guy, but still kind of be the bad guy, I'm kind of a bad guy, but I want to help you. I want to save your soul. I'm going to help you, but I'm going to be a bitch about it. So I could see that scenario playing out where he's helps them along, but he's still like not a good guy, and he knows what's going on with the underneath, upside down, underneath, into the further insidious references all around. So I don't know. I think what's probably going to happen is they'll take our ideas and throw them out the window.
Yeah, he'll be in like one episode and will be just a cameo.
He'll be in one episode. He'll be like the guy at Walmart. Be like, "You guys spilled a smoothie."
He'll literally just be Robert Englund. It'll just be Robert Englund because it's taking place in the 80s. It'll just literally be Robert Englund.
They go to Comic-Con. They go to Comic-Con in '83, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Robert Englund. I played Freddy Krueger. Can I sign your autograph?" And Wookiee guy is like, and he signs it, and he's like, "What a weird fucking kid." And that's it.
Let's see. Kmart says, I can't him play a good-hearted grandpa, keep us on the edge expecting something scary. Manager Juan says, Mr. Kaka, I missed you so much. You need to take a break and just play with us. That would make my day entirely. Well, guess what? I'm not gonna make your day tonight. Because I'm gonna be talking some shit because I am drinking. And then I'm gonna take a good long sleep. Because, and now hear me out, this may not sound interesting to most, but Daddy got the house to himself tonight. Woo!
Damn it, man. Why didn't you? I wish TJ would have told me he was sick earlier. And when I got off work, after I dropped Grant off, I'd have brought all my shit up to your house, and we could have done it like a simulcast in the same room kind of thing.
Well, I'm in a closet in the master bathroom, so maybe I would put you in the living room.
Listen, if we didn't have anybody else in the house, we could set this shit up in the kitchen.
True. I'm not moving my shit, to be fair, though. This is a pain in the ass.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. I understand right now. If you would have said, "Hey, Jared," in total honesty, if you would have been like, "Hey, brother, I got the house to myself tonight, and I got a bunch of liquor. All I need you to do is bring your cameras, your mics, your USB audio interface, and blah, 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 all that up here," I'd have been like, "I'm sick too."
Well, so Stephanie loves her parents, and her parents love Stephanie. So there will be another opportunity that this will arise, Jared. I promise you that.
Just for those of you who don't know Mr. Cack's wife, she loves everything. I mean, she is without a doubt the nicest person I've ever met in my entire life.
It's the drugs. It's the drugs.
It's the drugs. I could be like, "Stephanie, your house is on fire," and she'd be like, "It's okay, we'll get a new one at some point."
The hell we will. Okay. You better burn that down on purpose, Stephanie.
Anyways,
that better be arson, and we better be getting off on this shit.
All right, next week's episode, your wife as a mob boss.
Let's see. Manager One says, "You're a dad." Well, I'm a dad times 2. And let's see. Kmart says, "Damn it, man, I want that." So Kmart wants the brothers together. We could have been the Super Cagle Bros together.
Could have.
But I also took a hard nap. I also ate dinner early and took a hard nap and woke up in time to read TJ's text. I was basically blacked out in a bed.
So Kmart, real quick, my goal for this at some point is to get the three of us in the same room and have some kind of like Mr. Cack hosts, and then Jared and TJ are there too, but like producing, and me and TJ are throwing the shit up on the screen and stuff like that, but we're all in the same room. 3 different cameras, 3 different angles, and we can switch back and forth. That's what I'm kind of trying to go for in this. It hasn't come to fruition yet because I don't know a damn thing about it.
No.
I've reached out to Dan Patrick. He has not responded.
Well, he just seems like an asshole.
When he does,
we got it. We got this. I think we need to go the Pat McAfee route. He's the current hottest thing in YouTube streaming and radio.
Got on this list.
Pat Mc. Oh, we have not even made it into the list. To be fair,
I think we even started the list.
Okay, you want to start the list? We can.
I guess. Let's do it. What do we got?
Okay. So Manager One says, "Are you my dad?" And I that say, "I'm not claiming any more kids than what I need to."
Tax credit, buddy. Tax credit.
Well, also...
Kmart, I'm your daddy, buddy. I'm your daddy.
Your Manager One. Kmart, you might be sending a different message to, but...
Sorry.
But we're not here to kink shame anyone, all right? We're not here to kink shame anyone. We're all everyone's daddy in whatever context you want it to be. Whether that's familial, whether that's dirty, whether that's just you need a you need an adult. I don't know, but yes, we are all of your daddies.
I'll sign your permission slip.
Who is your daddy? What does he do? Kindergarten. Who is your daddy?
What does he do?
Who is your daddy? What does he do?
Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina.
It's not a tumor. It's not.
It's not a tumor. So many great lines in that movie.
Dominique, get down.
How many of you from Astoria?
So it's either daddy, or papa. Well, I guess depending on the content. Oh, listen, we need to get to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman. Wonder World. Wonder World. Wonder World. That is Beverly Hills Cops 3. Axel Foley, who then gets a mascot, and that may actually be something that we talk about later when we talk about rebooting stuff. But now, so right now we have Wonder Woman 1984 coming to HBO Max and theater. So the question I've posed to Jared and TJ before, I posed this a long time ago, and it seemed like maybe I was wrong, but now it seems like maybe my questioning at the time was right. Is this the first big step in the death knell of the theatrical release?
No.
You've been very consistent with no being the answer, Jared. So,
we've talked about this many times. And so yes, in the way that the fact that things have to change and things are going to change, be it via COVID, be it via streaming services. I don't think theaters will ever truly go away, but I feel like the providers for these things it's gonna shift to a point where they're gonna start limiting their content. And for example, HBO Max, they're gonna say, well, you can't view this in theater anymore. You've got to stream. You got to subscribe to our service. And after 4 months, they'll be like, okay, we'll put it in AMAX or Cinema, whoever the theater brands are. But I don't. It is a big blow. It is a big blow, and it definitely hurts theaters. But I still think the theaters. Let me go back. Excuse me. Sorry. I think theaters will always be there, but I think they will continue to gradually get smaller and smaller. There will still always be an audience that wants to go watch a movie on an 85-foot screen, myself included. Ghostbusters, when it comes out next year, have to watch, when and if it does, I don't want the first time I see that to be on my couch. Maybe I'm old school. These damn kids nowadays, these old kids everywhere.
Hey, forget about
everywhere. It's a different world for them where they watch stuff on their phone, and I understand that. And maybe it's, we'd rather not go out to the theater with our friends. We'll get some people over. We'll huddle on the bed and we'll watch it on the laptop. Okay, that's fine. But I don't think theater ever truly goes away. It just keeps getting punched in the face, but it refuses to die. Having said that, in this particular case, it's definitely a blow to the theater industry. When HBO Max and a bunch of other people are saying that, we're just going to stream it, we're not going to put it in theaters. I can't think of any theater names right now.
AMC.
AMC, that's the one. I don't know. I was thinking Amico. But AMC, they're like, well, what do we do? What are we going to put on? Well, I guess we'll have to put something on instead. So they're going to go with like Shrek 19. And people will go watch it. And that's the cool. And there's always going to be production companies that realize the value in theater dollars too. So I don't think it ever goes away. Yes, it does sock them in the face. This one actually breaks their jaw. But the theater industry is so tough and has been around for so long, it's really like the $1 Million Man at this point. It's kind of like we can saw its leg off and we'll stick a broomstick and a plunger on the other leg, and it's going to heap on, kind of keep moving on. It's never going to go away. It's never going to go away. The same way right now, it's like how many times have you heard these like, well, because of COVID, we've opened up the drive-in theaters. It's like, great, we haven't done that since 1949. Now it's all of a sudden popular. I don't think it ever truly goes away. No matter what happens, I don't think it ever truly goes away.
Okay.
Does this hurt it? Yes. Profit-wise, yes, absolutely. It's a broken jaw and a broken eye socket.
So it sounds like Albuterol Man and Kmart are on board with you in the sense that they don't foresee theaters going away. There is a love for the theater experience, especially for seeing certain movies. Albuterol Man says that he is going to watch it when it comes out on HBO Max because right now that is the most preferred setting for him to watch something. But that when he gets a chance to go watch it in theaters, he will gladly go watch it in theaters. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. I think that's probably another thing, right? I think there's going to be a rash of re-releases to maybe help play some of the box office. Now they're not going to get the same returns they would have, but I think once people feel better about where we are, once vaccines reach a point that people start to feel much better about the landscape of the world. If I was putting out a film, I would re-release it, and I think you're going to make a good chunk of change because there are a lot of people that want to go watch movies in a theater because it is a different experience than watching. And we've also just got people that, have been sitting on gift cards like Kmart for the last 9 months.
I've still got an AMC gift card.
Yeah, so I think you've got those people that are just sitting there.
I don't know how much is on it, but I like, well, whatever.
Yeah, so I think if you start to re-release stuff, it may not be the the nicest move, the most awesome move, but I think you can't remake it all. You can't retake all of that income, but you could probably make a pretty penny because I know that if given the opportunity, if some of these shows get released that come out on streaming before I can see it in theaters because I just don't feel comfortable going theater right now, I will gladly go watch it in theaters once I can go do it. Because if nothing else, we're just going to be clamoring for people to go do a social thing again. And like one of the things me and Reno always used to do was go watch big Marvel or DC releases. And I would drag Reno back to something I've already seen once it becomes available to us. Okay, let's see.
No, that's fair.
So I like the move just because I am so tired of things getting pushed back. I think some of the thought process was that eventually there's diminishing returns on interest and hype. And I think that is going to be a bridge a lot of shows need to start trying to cross, or a lot of films need to start trying to cross. Because Disney, or I guess Marvel, whoever has already come out and said that Black Widow will not be coming to Disney+. And I think that is not necessarily the best move because I think this is a good move by DC, by Warner Brothers, by HBO Max to help remind people, hey, we've got a really good movie. You should watch it before you ever get a chance to see that other thing that Marvel's doing. And now Wonder Woman has a chance to become more of the collective zeitgeist of our pop culture. And I think Black Widow gets hurt by this because just the stubborn mentality of we're not releasing our films until we can put in a theater, which I get, especially since a lot of success in the current system is measured by box office release. But at the same time, man, like, are we going to care about Black Widow, a film that now takes place like 7 years to decade later, because it happens in between, or it happens before Infinity War, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, like, is it just getting to the point where we've now created a weird period piece?
Yes, kind of.
This is a flashback to the early 2000s, a good 2 decades ago.
Good 2 decades ago. Mr. Cagle.
This one lasts forever and ever. Let's make this last forever and ever. So the Facebook stream essentially killed both streams, so I had to restart back up. We're just on Twitch now. And I was vamping for time, waiting for people to come back to the stream. So Albuterol Man's back. Welcome back, Albuterol Man.
What's up, Albuterol?
Those eyes, capable of lies. First kiss.
Very first kiss. Part that I'm probably gonna miss.
Oh,
Let's go.
Don't wait. It's almost over.
Over. Almost. Let's wait. This man lasts forever.
Forever. Let's make this last forever and ever and ever. I love this guy. This guy is amazing.
I want to get my guitar.
This guy's amazing. I love everything. It's Alex Melton on YouTube. Alex Melton is his name. He has 99,000 subscribers, and I promise you this, I am at least 1 to 2 to 3 of those subscribers. And that's just
Alex Melton.
Alex Melton is good. Alburo Man says apparently Black Widow will lead into Falcon Winter Soldier, which at this point in time, I just want to watch stuff now. I don't want to wait for a movie that may never come out to tie into the damn streaming show that could come out. Like if that's the only thing that's delaying Falcon Winter Soldier, that kind of upsets me to a certain degree.
This is where we need TJ because he's such a Marvel guy and I'm not. I'm sorry, I'm a horrible nerd. I don't keep up with a lot of Marvel because it's just, I don't know. I'm done with it all. It's overdone. They did it to death. They were like, let's find every Marvel thing we can manage and make 6 movies about it. And it just, I don't know. Now you could say the same. You could say the same thing with Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know why I like them so much, but it's like let's make 9 Captain America movies. I'm like, two's plenty.
Listen, Marvel's the only thing that sent itself into space in its later iterations, and it hasn't been awful.
I
guess Freddy hasn't sent himself to space yet. Jason sent himself to space. Wasn't a good exchange. The Leprechaun
didn't send himself to space. Somebody took him to space.
Leprechaun, I think, sent himself to space. So another not a good moment. Fast and the Furious is about to send themselves to space, which is pretty much the perfect send-off to a franchise that has somehow finally jumped the shark.
What are they doing? Racing around the moon?
I just ludicrous out there.
You can't drift around the moon.
Luda is so true to smoking that stanky Buddha. Like, I just don't know. I don't know what else he's going to do, right? He's just going to light it up. And Vin Diesel's going to talk about family in space. And then they're just going to go to space. And, like, it's just family. It's all about family. All right, let's advance. Let's advance.
Into some 90s stuff.
Okay, well, first, Lethal Weapon 5 confirmed. Excited? Not excited? Are you too old for this shit?
No.
Okay, perfect.
No, I'm not. And one of the questions you posed to us was, Lethal Weapon 5 has a green light. What other 80s, 90s action films do you want to see in a 2020 sequel? Okay, first of all, let's address Lethal Weapon. With Part 4, they very much hinted this is the last one. We're too old for this shit. But I think Mel Gibson...
To be fair, Murtaugh's been saying that for, like, 4 movies.
4 movies since 1987. Since 1987. And he's still... He's never shown that he is actually too old for this shit. So, Lethal Weapon, close to my heart. I'll watch it. If they make another Lethal Weapon, I will. Provided it's those two. If they're like, let's redo Lethal Weapon like they did
with the Fox TV show, yeah.
Yeah, stupid. You get Gibson and Glover together, and Joe Pesci. I'm watching it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm watching it. But, especially now, they're both in their 60s. So, how do you, where, I don't know where you go. I don't know what you do. I don't know what they're capable of acting wise, which Danny Glover wasn't exactly a stuntman. Mel Gibson will jump off the top of a damn building. So, but the question was, what other 80s and 90s action films do you want to see a 2020 sequel? So I made some.
Yep. So this is rebooting or restarting 90s action film.
Oh, okay. Was it?
Well, so that's not what I originally posed, but that's essentially what I'm asking, right? So restarting would be giving another sequel to. But hell, if you wanted to reboot some bitch, you can reboot it now, Jared. It's all up to you, buddy.
What I was thinking was, let's make a sequel to the last movie made. That's
which
kind of how
I feel like for me is what I'm describing when I say restarting. You're restarting that franchise up.
Perfect. We picked up where we left off on the new movie. So some notes I made. First one was not Die Hard.
Fair.
They're done.
He has a commercial. I think that's the last Die Hard.
That's it. And it's about a damn car battery. I said Point Break would be good, but Patrick Swayze is dead. I don't feel like you can do that without Keanu and Patrick. Oh, but what's the other note? Too many Terminators already. They terminated it to death. They were like, let's keep making Terminators, and you couldn't do it now, and it would be interesting. People are dead. But I have some alternatives that you might like, Mr. Cack, and this is where TJ is grossly unappreciated because I feel like he would have so much to say on these. So I'm going to throw out a title, and I want you to tell me what you think, how the remake or reboot would go.
Okay.
All right? You ready?
Right. Yeah.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. All right. We'll start at the bottom.
Okay.
Blade.
Blade?
Blade.
For a minute there, I thought you said laid. I'm like, is that a porn?
Yeah, no.
Blade.
No.
I mean, so for Blade, I feel like it's pretty straightforward, and I feel like we'll probably get this. Well, we're getting a reboot of it, right? With with a new actor, which I really like the actor they've cast for that role. I think he is a badass. I think he will fall into that role just nicely. Now, if you were doing a Blade sequel with Wesley Snipes, I think you do it pretty much how you did the same formula for every Blade film, right? Except now, instead of having a Whistler, he is probably the one that is maybe training some apostles in
Shia LaBeouf.
I mean, if Shia LaBeouf didn't go crazy, that would be the most 2000s approach to do is to cast Shia LaBeouf as his apprentice. But so yeah, you probably have a Blade that now is casting apprentices. You could probably tie an age to it, even though he's a vampire. But I guess the Daywalker just a slower. You can just say he just ages slower because of his Daywalker affliction.
Sure.
But I mean, I don't know if you really have to care about what the setting is. It's literally give him a vampire nemesis, have them wrong him in some way, and then he will eventually kill everything on his conquest to get to this. Now, I think if you wanted to be cool with it, you maybe take something a little bit more abstract, so maybe the main villain isn't a vampire, or maybe there's something happening to vampires, and Blade has to fight on behalf of vampires. I feel like that could be an interesting take. Maybe there's something... Riddle me this. What if there is a human antagonist to Blade that is trying to eradicate the vampire problem in a more, I guess, inhumane corporate fashion? So while Blade is going through and killing vampires that deserve to be killed, what if there is now a human that is going through, and this human doesn't differentiate a Daywalker from a vampire? If you're caused with this affliction, whatever they've released will kill you as well, Blade. So now Blade has to fight humanity, save vampires, torn and conflicted!
It's like that one with Ethan Hawke in it where, like, vampires are part of society, but then it all kind of breaks down. I can see that happening. Okay, but hey, let's move down the list. I've got more here. 90s. Oh, gosh, darn, the 90s were great, Ope. So, number 2. And I've put 2 movies. This has nothing to do with Wesley Snipes so much as Tommy Lee Jones.
I'm drinking tequila, Abu Roll, man. Tequila. And then Jared is drinking a Yingling Hershey Porter. So it is candy beer. Now,
In fairness, before the show, I had been drinking this.
which is not candy beer.
Not at all. Option number 2.
All right.
Or show number 2.
Yep.
The Fugitive / U.S. Marshals. So we take Harrison Ford out, we take Wesley Snipes out, and let's put who's a good guy to go in there. Let's say Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt,
I love Chris Pratt.
Opposite Tommy Lee Jones, like I should have been drinking. Chris Pratt opposite Tommy Lee Jones in a third Fugitive U.S. Marshals type kind of movie where Tommy Lee Jones is a old and almost retired Deputy Gerard, and he's got to chase down another guy. By the way, Iron Man and also the U.S. Marshals.
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, no, he was a very young, fresh-faced Robert Downey Jr. in that. Yes.
And didn't know what the hell a Glock was.
No, he was just idea. He's just that young yuppie asshole that's out there.
Hey, you know what? He could get a pair of handcuff. Jesus Christ. Could get a pair of handcuffs off with a pair of sunglasses.
Nice.
If you've never seen those movies, go watch them. I don't consider them nerdy necessarily.
No, but
we're talking about 90s.
So I think the appreciation for film can be very nerdy, right? I think the love of any genre of film can be a very nerdy hobby. So listen, Fugitive is another one that is pretty much you can throw things at a wall and make the story work. So
exactly.
So to avoid that, let's give it a little bit more of a hook. So the easiest way to give something a hook in creating a film, you want to find a way to make Tommy Lee's drive as his character be more meaningful, so you have to do something that directly impacts him. So it has to be a fugitive that has either wronged him at a family level in some way, shape, or form, and or a fugitive has escaped and has taken, let's say, a grandchild of his, because he's trying to get back at Tommy Lee because Tommy Lee's character is the one that put him away originally.
That's good. I like that. And you know what?
And then Chris Pratt's character is inconsequential. He's just a good-looking lead actor that will riff off of Tommy Lee's gruffy nature, and then he just does Chris Pratt things in a new film, but it's essentially the same character in pretty much every film, which I love. I'm not here to knock that. Yes. I would love for him to be Indiana Jones as well.
Hell yes.
Yep.
All right, so film number 3, going back, gonna drop some more hulky muscle men on you. Could we possibly see a sequel, or would you like to see a sequel? And 20 or 30 years later to Demolition Man.
Fuck yes, I would. And listen, this is another one where you don't even have to put thought process into it, right? So Sylvester Stallone's character is still active and having now actual penetration sex with Sandra Bullock. And that's fine. Or you could kill Sandra Bullock. It doesn't matter. It's whatever it is. But listen, and this is a very simple process, right? You just unfreeze another bad guy, and
yeah, really.
And this one can literally be anything, right? But if you want to give it that emotional twist, the thing that makes these sequels worth doing, right? You have to somehow find a way to tie it into something that sucker punches our protagonist. So what if, so maybe we release a couple people, maybe there's a group that's getting released for God knows what reason. Maybe there's some kind of underground anarchy group that's now started to rise up. Maybe they're seeing the Demolition Man, maybe it's like the cult of the Demolition Man. Fuck, I don't know. But what if Sylvester Stallone has a child he didn't know about? That child did something because he was acting out, because he didn't have a father figure, because his father figure got locked away. And now his son has been released, and he may not necessarily be the antagonist, but he is set up to look like an antagonist for at least some sort of it. And then you have the rekindling of a relationship between father and son. It creates a weird dynamic with Sandra Bullock, who's his current actual fornicating partner. And you have fun with it. Or you do Wesley Snipes. You do Wesley Snipes' character, son, daughter. Hey, fuck it. It's 2020, daughter. And she's batshit crazy, and she is about to burn down the world. Because the man that locked our father away somehow is in the fucking future where Taco Bell is the main primary restaurant of all existence.
All I want is Sly Stallone, Sandra Bullock, and Dennis Leary. Make it work. But no, to that point, that's really good because like he had a wife and kids before he got frozen and stuff. And that would be an interesting story. I like it. But let's move on to number 4.
Okay.
Number 4 and number 5 kind of go hand in hand because they have the same main actor. But I feel like we couldn't get through this if we're talking about 90s action films without bringing up the great Nicolas Cage. So the first movie. Con Air, sequel to Con Air. Can it happen? Could it happen? How would it happen?
Now, see, that one's tricky, right? Because the premise for that was he was a criminal getting off, and now you've kind of lost that. Now, the only way you can make that work is by doing...
Make him a criminal again.
Well, you either make him a criminal again, or the twist is he has lived a clean and sober life, right? He doesn't necessarily have to be involved in law enforcement. He's just playing with his daughter, and he's putting the bunny in the box. But there is a similar scenario where a transport of convicts, it can be whatever medium you want.
Sure.
Auto transport. We can go back to the plane. We can make it a boat. It's kind of like the Speed. It's kind of like the Speed movie. You just pick and choose which form of vehicle you want. And
choose the form of your destructor.
And you have it to where the same scenario is kind of playing out now, but without there being the presence of Nicolas Cage's character, it's more just a straight up disgruntled group of prisoners that have now taken siege of this vehicle and are either laying siege to some place. Yeah. Let's say they've taken over a mall. And then Nick Cage's character, because reason be damned, because it's a 90s action film continuation, is invited in because... fuck it, like what's his name? The crazy guy that we thought was gonna eat that little girl. What is that actor's name? Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi. So say
Steve Buscemi.
Say Steve Buscemi's still there, and somehow there's some connection that you bring back in. What was his character? Was his character like a Texas name, like Dallas or something? What was Nick Cage's name?
Was
Nick Cage's name?
Was that Con Air or was that Armageddon?
Maybe. Oh God, is there a difference?
No, not really.
What was Nick Cage's character name in that? That's gonna bug the crap out of me. He was Cameron Poe. Cameron Poe. So again, logic be damned, because action films are already based on very thin and loose logic. So somehow Nick Cage's character is called upon by the FBI to help them in this situation because he has experience talking down criminals, because he did help some of the criminals come to reason, and then eventually just started killing people. And that will be what this is, right? He'll start off on a good effort to try to talk these convicts down because he has the experience, and maybe that's what he's done with his life after the fact, is he's trying to rehabilitate convicts. He goes in there and they're not having it, and just fuck all happens, and he's got to tell a bunch of people to put the bunny in the box, and then he starts killing them. Just whatever.
That's pretty good. That's pretty damn good. That's where I was thinking it was gonna go. Yeah. Should we go to the fifth one?
Yes, please.
Now this one, I'm so proud of this one. When I was thinking of it a couple nights ago, I was like, because there is so much potential for a sequel for this with both of the I say that both of the actors prior to a week ago. The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Could you and would you not want to see some kind of weird thing where Stanley Goodspeed and Captain John Mason meet up somewhere else? The Rock Part 2. The invasion of LA or whatever, like, I don't know. I was thinking about that, wrote it down, and I didn't even think about it now. It's like, oh, we can't do that because Sean Connery has left us. But still, yeah. I think we owe him that honor to say, how badass would that be? 20 years later, they're 20 years older. Stanley Goodspeed's retired from the FBI. John Patrick Mason's running around and selling, balloon animals to kids at a fair or something. They just happen to run into each other and uncover some national secret, kind of like National Treasure. Mm-hmm. How good would Sean Connery been in National Treasure? Huh?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Yeah. We missed out on that one. Anyways, so let's make believe for a moment and pretend that the great Sir Sean Connery is still alive and not 109 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock.
Yeah. So if we did The Rock,
what happens?
If we did The Rock and it was coming out now, I think even if Sean Connery was still alive, Sean Connery would not be in it, outside of maybe a cameo, because he did retire back in 2003. So this would have to have happened prior to 2003, prior to League of Extraordinary Gentlemen killing his love for acting. So with that in mind, you instead bring in someone that will portray Sean Connery's son, grandson, whatever age we're trying to set Sean Connery to be, because he's either timeless or too fucking old for reason. So you have Nick Cage. Nick Cage is now serving in the Sean Connery role, where he's working with the young whippersnapper to help them. And then outside of that, it's just mix and match. Find some setting that you want to put him in. So let's, we've done one of the most notorious prisons in America. Let's now take it to some Central American, like, notorious black site prison, or maybe like Guantanamo Bay, something that is like a step up. Something that's a step up, has a lot of mystique behind it, because you can't just go to Rikers Island, right? Like, well, okay, nope. You went to the other coast. Canada doesn't have any real alluring things. I'm sure there's some like old prisons or castles type setup that would be there, but like, Guantanamo Bay, because that's a cultural reference that will get the 90s lovers of The Rock thinking, oh shit, I know what that is. That's bad news. Let's get on this shit. Nick Cage, get down there. And then the biggest question is, who do you get as Sean Connery's proxy, right? Do you go out and find a kid that has a Scottish accent, or do you just say fuck it and cast like a Hemsworth? Like, I don't know like what the
David Tennant.
David Tennant. Okay, well he is. I mean, he just okay. Okay,
I would age him up. You could age him up.
I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it, right? I wouldn't hate it. Okay, I wouldn't hate that. I just feel like he's a little bit too old. But at the same time, he's not old for Sean Connery's kid, a direct kid. So I get that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, to that point. So he meets up with his daughter in The Rock, which would have been 94. So let's say if they were born in 94, it would have been 10 years younger than me right now, approximately. So 26, David Tennant. We could make David Tennant look like a 26-year-old.
I'd say just go find someone, right?
Yeah.
Just go find someone. I
like your idea.
There's got to be someone with some kind of accent. And like, listen, you could just make it, if it's Nick Cage's kid, like, then fuck it, like it can have American accent or whatever the hell Nick Cage speaks. I mean, I think it's English. Yeah, I think it's English, but I don't know. That's what I want to see, a sequel of Face Off, and that we're just swapping everyone's face. No one that you see in that film is who they say they are. Everyone swapped their face. And we just call it this. Faces Off.
Faces Off. All right. So the next thing that you mentioned was, let's see. We got Wes Craven, we got Scream 5, and we got Animaniacs.
Okay, so Scream 5, we have Scream 5, the title Scream. I hate that. I hate when movies do that. I don't like that. I think that's a very dumb thing to do. Hey, our first film was called Scream. Listen, and I hate it the most for this reason. A 5 looks like an S. Let me say that again. A 5 looks like an S. You could have called it Screams.
Yes, like Aliens.
Yeah, you could have just called it Screams. And I get it. That maybe sounds a little bit stupid, but who gives a shit? So does renaming a movie in the same chronological franchise order as what the first one was called. I'm looking at you, Halloween. I'm looking at you, Predator. I'm looking at you now, Scream. But I am interested in seeing it. I like a Scream.
People are gonna be on Amazon 25 years from now, and they're gonna search Scream, and it's gonna be like Scream 1996, Scream 2020, and they're gonna go, "Is that remastered?
Is there a difference?
One do I watch? Is there a difference between them?" And they're going to watch the wrong one, or they're going to be disappointed. So I don't like that either.
So do you want to talk about Scream, or do you want to go straight to potentially restarting, rebooting a 90s teen horror slasher?
Let's do 30 seconds each on Scream.
Okay.
I'll go first.
Go for
it. I think it's cool because I think the series never really finished. But I don't feel like they wanted to finish. They wanted to kind of leave it open so that there could be something like this. Having said that, it's dead. It's done. It's over. I would probably still watch it just to see old Nevy Campbell again one more time. Maybe some the David Arquette one more time, you know, and then I guess also not Sandra Bullock,
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox is in there. She's 73 years old, but man, I'd make out with her. I think that I feel like there's a way there to kind of make that work where it's like. I think the movie would be, I think it'd be stupid, but you can still make it entertaining and somewhat scary. So that's my thoughts. You go now.
I will watch it. I like it. I don't know what they're going to do. Apparently, they're borrowing inspiration from more contemporary horror films. So that was the kind of thing with Scream, is it borrowed from horror genre. So by that, I mean, they're going to take a lot of Key and Peele stuff, and they're going to use that. So not Key and Peele, Jordan Peele, and his movie.
I was thinking Key and Peele.
no, Jordan Peele. Us.
Welcome to Waterburg, man.
So Us and what was the other film? Get Out. So you probably see that. Yeah. So some of the more recent horror films that are more psychological, which I mean, Scream already had that, but they'll probably find a way to make it really mindfucky, because that's what Scream does, is that you start to believe everyone's the killer, which was always what I liked about Jamie Kennedy's character. So it's sad that he's gone, unless he created a film that would have withstood the test of time for 15 years to reappear, which he may shoehorn that in of, all right, guys, if you find yourself in 2020 being hunted down by a stalker again, here's what you need to remember.
Don't go in the basement by yourself again.
Watch
Garage.
Watch all the current horror films. It's very meta. They've apparently watched our stuff. It's like, what? What are you talking about, Jamie Kennedy? Also, why do you look older in this video that you created back in the 90s?
So I thought of a couple. Scream 5, what other 90s slasher flick would you like to get a new entry? I don't know about new entry, but I'm still thinking on the verge of like sequels. Where can we follow up 20 years later, 30 years later, 30 years later? Jesus Lord. And I got a couple, and not all of them are slashers, but I just thought, hey, at that time, kind of ghostly thingy kind of things.
I think that's fair, because that's what a lot of the list I was looking at did, is it was more horror, and I think you can get very critical with what people consider horror, because I think, and TJ made this point earlier, is that, you know, is it horror or is it a slasher? And I think there is kind of a little bit of a difference, even though it becomes a very blurred line at certain points.
Yes, so I'm going to start with the bottom of the barrel.
Fair.
But would still be cool to see a reboot / sequel to. I'm thinking with the same actors, if possible. Number 1, I've got 3.
Okay.
Number 1, The Craft.
Yeah.
I think
they're doing that too, honestly.
Are they?
I think they're rebooting it.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I think they are.
Man. So let's just go ahead and scratch that one off the list right there.
But I mean, that was
I didn't do enough research.
So on the most iconic 90s teen horror films, The Craft was number 3 on this list.
Is up there. I mean, yeah, right.
Revelation 666. Hello, welcome back, buddy. It has been a while. Welcome.
What did he say?
Fucking
okay.
Said fucking cack. It's been a while. It has been a while.
Revelations. Did you bring tacos?
Oh God, tacos sound so good right now.
They do.
Can we talk about how sad it is Taco Bell has become kind of an asshat of a brand? They get rid of all the good stuff.
I don't think we should, because it'll just piss me off and I'm in a good mood.
They got rid of all the good stuff.
They did. They've still got the cheesy gordita crunch as of a couple weeks ago.
I think that's going away, isn't it?
Mother God.
There's something big name on that menu that's dropping in like February.
You know what? I'm going to Sonic. Forget it.
I went to the bar, haven't been for like a year. Well, welcome back. Welcome back.
Which bar?
The bar.
Which one, man?
I don't know.
Where's he at? Memphis? No.
Revelations? Anywhere. Revelations could be anywhere.
Where at, Revelations?
Revelations in Satan's asshole, because he's Revelation 666.
Yes, hello. I'm in Bethlehem.
All right, so The Craft. Yes, I would be on board with that, but I think it is getting a reboot.
Okay, all right. So scratch that. Number 2. And you'll like this one. We've discussed it before as horror movies that are kind of not horror movies. The Faculty.
That's number 2 on this list. I would love to see a Faculty Which
Man, I'm smart.
you really are. You're really good with this. So how would you set that? It's what, just a new invasion?
So
I don't think you have to put a lot of thought process into making a new faculty. I think you just rehash things. You just create a new dynamic in how it's being carried out. So maybe you move out of the high school setting and move it into just a different setting in general.
Hang on. I'm with you on that, but I want to say keep it in a high school setting. Bring back old characters that are now in their 40s.
Yeah.
Josh Hartnett selling his dope pins out of the trunk of his car.
Now it's just vape pins. He's just selling vape pins to 13-year-olds, which is a very true story. Not for Josh Hartnett, but like in general, 13-year-olds are vaping.
Right. So I think that's why I like it, though. I think there's several ways you could kind of do that. You could it could be like a current high school and bring in old characters, or you could be like characters now. Oh my God, there's another alien. I don't think it doesn't work without a high school science teacher and some brainiac high school kid, though. So maybe Elijah Wood sneaks back in as Frodo, and he's like, I need the ring. I mean, the alien. That's what I would think would be cool. Is like, you have the same scenarios, basically a remake of the first movie, kind of Final Destination it, though. They don't know what's going on. They read a newspaper article about some guy finding a parasite years ago. They go to an insane asylum, and Frodo's all wrapped up, and he's like, I once found a creature here, or whatever. Doesn't have to be exactly that, but I could see both ways. You could do total new cast or cameos from old cast.
Yeah. No, I'd be on board with that. I don't think you have to put a lot of thought into it. I think you just rehash.
No, not at all. Just roll.
Rehash the old thing, bring in new kids, make it more interesting. Don't cast, for whatever love of God, do not cast the kids from It, which also subsequently is like half the kids from Stranger Things. We need to branch out and find new young actors.
Yes.
Also, some of them have aged a dramatic amount, so I think this is better for like a younger high school, like 16-year-olds, where they're trying to figure out hormones is a factor, weird family dynamics are a factor. Also, some of your friends are being replaced by mindless drones of aliens.
Body Snatchers meets faculty and teenage years.
It's the Breakfast Club meets Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yes,
with the thing involved somehow. Like, it's kind of the thing, right? Especially when you're not sure of who to trust, which I guess is Invasion of the Body Snatchers also. And
all right,
Sutherland.
So last on this one, and I feel like horribly underdone, even though they made a couple sequels. Bring the cast back in, the ones who did not die, and for number one, I know what you did last summer.
I think Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character died?
I don't think he died.
Good.
No.
I think Freddie Prinze Jr. deserves more screen time.
Yeah, because he's like 50 now, and it would be great to see him as like a dad character living in the same town, and maybe some kids. Okay, so Freddie Prinze Jr. and the girl he was banging in that movie, I don't remember her name. I don't think it was Tara Reid.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Also,
so
I don't know if you remember, Sarah Michelle Gellar was also in that, but she died. Her character died.
She totally got like.
Oh, but it was so sad. She watched Ryan Felipe die up in the rafters at that pageant. They're killing him, and everyone's like, "She's a good actress."
I remember watching that as a young boy, not young, 15. Watching that going. And then, like, when he died, they're like, oh, my God, he's dying. And then people were like, yes, she's amazing.
That's a weird acceptance speech. That's a weird pageant award acceptance speech. But, I mean, hell, it's up to her. But, yeah, no.
I think you're done. I think kids, because they split up. Because they had, I Know What You Did Last Summer, 2 summers ago.
I still know what you did last summer.
That's what it was. And by the way, I Know What You Did Last Summer. The goofy guy, the goofy guy, Big Bang Theory. What's his name? I don't know. One of the scientists. There's 1 of 3. Not Sheldon, not Raj, but
Not Sheldon, not Raj.
The other guy, Leonard.
Leonard.
Leonard's in that movie.
No.
And he's a dick.
No.
So, you even bring him back maybe a little bit. Wait, he may have died too.
Listen.
I have to watch it again.
Listen, I've got you a title. First, Revelation 666 says he's in Indiana and went to a little hole-in-the-wall bar, which is by far probably the best kind of bar to go to.
Indiana rocks, man. I love Indiana.
And your Hoosiers are doing good in the football, eh?
They in fucking Canada.
Hey? I feel like that's just like a blur of the Midwest. I feel like that's...
Hoosiers are doing good, laddie.
All right, Scrooge McDuck. The Hoosiers have all the gold. Here's the title. Here's
home the Hoosiers have they.
Here's the title for your I Know What You Did Last Summer 2020 or onward sequel.
All right.
I remember what you did last summer. I remember what you did that summer. That summer. There you go. You keep it vague, and fuck knows what that means, right? Well,
I remember what you did 9 summers ago.
Yeah, you can't put a date to it. You just have to say that summer. And when Jennifer Love Hewitt gets the note, that is underlined because now you're not. Oh fuck! Is it one of the 2 summers we've seen? It's gotta be right.
Okay. All right. What do you want to do? Wes Craven or Animaniacs?
Let's do Animaniacs.
That's a stretch.
Let's do Animaniacs.
Animaniacs?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Damn it! This is where TJ needs to be here too, because I know he's got. I've got one in the back pocket that you may or may not remember, or some children's series that you would like to see a return. So let's start out with Animaniacs, greatest show on television ever. Pinky and the Brain, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot, Slappy the Squirrel. It doesn't get any better than that.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I still quote it.
Mm-hmm.
But the question Mr. Cack asked was, what 90s children's series would you like to see make a return? So, starting off with, number one on my list was DuckTales.
Oh, this is good. It's back. It's
already
so good.
done it, and thank God they have. Darkwing Duck is coming.
It's coming.
That was number 2.
Yep.
And those are the first 2 I thought of. I was like, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales.
They're good thoughts. They're good thoughts.
Good thoughts. And of course, you and me, we've known each other a long time, being brothers and stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's like 9 spin-offs so far, so I think you have to automatically kind of count that out for our list purposes.
So if you're one of us though, I'll throw this out there. The Nickelodeon 2017 reboot, it's in kind of that 3D looking animation. That is actually really good and pays a lot of tributes to the 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. So I recommend that. The 1987 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles do make appearances in that series in their 2D hand-drawn format. So
the only thing that I do not like, and I watch it, is they made like April and Casey Jones to be like 14 or 15 years old.
Which I think is fine for a young audience, right?
Well, no, it is. But when you think of April Jones as the grown-up television news reporter and Casey Jones, the failed college hockey player, but it's good. I still watch it.
I think it makes it less weird when you think of it as the Turtles are supposed to be teenagers. So having two adults as their compatriots, in retrospect, is kind of weird, right? At least now with Casey as a teenager, you can at least explain why he's such a jocked up asshole dick.
Right.
Because if it's like an adult that's doing that, it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad. Should be arrested. Kind of sad.
Kind of like it was in 1984.
Kind of like it was. Now, I did like Stephen Amell's try at it. Granted, the new live action films were kind of hit or miss. But I do like Stephen Amell, so I did appreciate his Casey Jones.
He was great in The Conjuring too. Wait.
Alburo Man says Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
I'm getting there.
Oh shit.
I'm getting there.
Where's the spoiler alert?
That wasn't my ace in the hole, by the way.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go. I didn't rate these, but I rated them in my head on show that I like the least to like that I'm the one that I like the most. First one, Gargoyles. I didn't watch a whole lot of Gargoyles, but I know TJ liked Gargoyles, and he's not here tonight, so he didn't have an opinion. Did you ever watch Gargoyles, and could you see that being redone?
I did. So I think it's easy for cartoons because I don't even think you have to worry about setting for the most part. Because the only thing that you add to a Gargoyles reboot is now that you have so much social media, you now tie that into, right? Like the Gargoyles have to try even harder to protect kind of their identities, which was a big thing about the original Gargoyles. Is they were trying to minimize their exposure to humanity because they only came out at night, and realizing that they were alive really creates a liability for them, because once you know they exist, then you just find the statues and you break those sons of bitches during the day, and now there's no more Gargoyles.
There you go. End of story.
So I think you can tie in a very interesting thing. What I would hate to see, but what would probably happen in a reboot, is the human protagonist will probably be made younger, kind of like the Casey Jones, April O'Neil of Teenage Mutant Turtles, to make it more appealing to a younger audience. Because for whatever reason, back in the 90s, we didn't give a shit. We just like, an adult? Yeah, let's go watch her gallivant at night with fictional creatures, like with mythological creatures. That makes total sense. But now people need, I guess, more of a child lead to make it make more sense.
Yeah.
Albuterol Man says Gargoyles would be great. So Albuterol Man's on board.
And I think it would too. Hang on, where's my list? So, number 2, and I know this is going to cause a controversy. X-Men. And I made a note. I'm surprised Marvel hasn't already. Where is the X-Men cartoon?
So the original X-Men creator, the animated X-Men animated, or whatever the fuck it was called originally, has actually been on record, or maybe it was X-Men Evolution, the kind of next series that came out in like the later 90s, where they were at like a college campus or a high school campus. I forget which it was.
Yes. This was the earlier one though.
Yeah. So one of the creators of one of those, or maybe it's a writer from one of them, has actually went on record saying that Marvel is totally messing up and why they haven't used that property as a return to form.
And I agree.
Yep. I agree too.
Where's it at?
Because it's super easy, right? Again, all you have to think about to make this change is social media is now more of a presence. So now you just tie in that, but that doesn't even really impact the world of X-Men because everyone knows mutants exist. But you can make it more of an alienating high school experience by using social media. But yeah, no, I think that's another one that you bring back. I don't know why it hasn't been brought back. It makes literally no sense.
Exactly. And I mean, with everything Marvel right now, Star Wars has their own Lego freaking series on Disney. Why would you not, if you're Marvel, say, hey, maybe we need a cartoon. We had a cartoon. Let's do it again. So it's whatever. Before I get to these last 2 though, and I did not put, everybody who knows me and Mr. Cack know that we are huge Ghostbuster fans and real Ghostbuster fans. I did not put them on this list.
That's the only thing I want. That's the only thing I want back. I don't give a shit about anything else. I just want the real Ghostbusters back.
I'd love it.
But
I'd love it.
I would hate that it would be Dave Coulier doing the voice of Peter Venkman, because Lorenzo Music, the original first voice of Peter Venkman and Garfield, is dead. So
yes.
That's the only thing that would stop me. Yeah, it's the only thing that would stop me. Unless, in his continual apology tour for being an asshole to Lorenzo Music, Bill Murray actually voices the character of Peter Venkman.
I would settle for that in a heartbeat.
Bring back Arsenio Hall. I know his voice eventually got replaced. Bring back Arsenio Hall as the voice of Winston. Frank Welker can still do Ray, because Frank Welker just still is doing voices.
Everything else he does, he's still doing Scooby-Doo, man.
And oh gosh, what's his name? Oh, he's got like a French name that does the voice of Egon. He's also still doing a ton of voice acting too.
I think, did he do something in Call of Duty?
I'm sure he's got a voice in everything.
Yes, he does. You know, he's really like Ray, the Scooby Doo, yeah, SpongeBob, whatever. If you got a commercial or a cartoon, I'll voice it for you.
And then Revelation 666. So before we get to in that, his highlighted message is gotta be codename Kids Next Door. Did you ever see codename Kids Next Door?
I remember it, but I don't remember watching it. Like, I don't know. It's making an impression up here, but I can't think of it. I can't think. Yeah.
So I think you can bring that back because again, there's not like a strong footing in any of the actual settings of any of these. So you just bring back the kids, and the setting is still the same. You know, they're kids they're kids for most of the time, but then they go to their secret hideouts. They become these little secret agents, whatever, and they're going against their villains, which happen to be very adult themed. It's Maurice LaMarche. Maurice
LaMarche.
Yeah, so it's a very Frenchy sounding name. So I'm sure I mispronounced that all, but yeah, no, I think you have all the voices that you can make, and then just make Peter Venkman's voice Bill Murray.
Yeah. So I got 2 left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving the okay. These next 2 are obscure.
Oh.
People who are under 37 years old may not even know about them.
I'm under 37.
You probably know though. This next one is a throwaway. It's a throwaway because I remembered it and I wanted to put it on the list.
Okay.
Saturday morning cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboys of Moo Mesa. Remember it?
It sounds familiar.
So basically there are these cows. And they're sheriff deputies in this town, and everybody's a character. Like a horse or a cow or something like that. Anyways, it was a Saturday morning cartoon, and right after that was Briscoe Kane, which is, guy with the arm for Bruce Campbell.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyways, I just thought of it, and I was like, Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I think I should bring that up.
Okay, so
right before that was like a shark show.
Street Sharks?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow, so I don't remember Cowboys of Moo Mesa. But when you said that, what I did think of was another cartoon, while I didn't appreciate it at the time, I sure think would be silly to bring back, and that is Barnyard Commandos. Do you remember Barnyard Commandos?
Very vaguely, yes, I do. I remember the name. I don't remember too much about it.
So
but I remember I watched it. And I was like, I don't know.
So let me
kid.
Let me just pull this up right quick. This is so Barnyard much. Commandos.
Yeah.
It's literally just farm animals that are like army guys fighting each other. That is literally the premise of that cartoon.
I do remember it. It didn't make quite the impression that.
No, it's underappreciated, but like
no.
But how could you? So it was the Rams versus the Porks. So it was sheep and goat-based characters versus mostly pig-based characters, and there were some other animals tossed about, aligning with the different factions. For Rams, there was Sergeant Woolly Pullover, Commodore Fleece Cardigan, Major Legger Mutton, and Pilot Fluff Peddleton. For Porks, there was General Hamfat Lardo. There was Private Side O'Bacon. There was Sergeant Shote and Sweet, and there was Captain Tusker Chitlins.
Wow.
In Series 2 came Master Sergeant Cornelius Cannon Fodder for Rams, Private Bull Bellwether, Commander Missiles Mutton Chop, and Lieutenant Sure-Shot Shearling. For Porks in Series 2, there was Corporal High on the Hog. Staff Sergeant
Chinese guy.
Staff Sergeant Blaster McBacon, Major Piggyback Gunner, and Captain Hogwild.
Oh wow!
Oh, I wasn't talking to you, Siri. No, I'm not gonna say it again. I wasn't talking to you. What?
Leave me alone, Siri, bitch.
Siri, you asshole, what are you doing?
Siri is like she's all pissed off.
All right, so what was your next cartoon? Sorry, we went off on a little Barnyard Commandos. I can't believe I just remembered that because I had not been thinking of that show ever.
So my last one was, and I've got the DVD set because I found it on Amazon. It cost me $240 fucking dollars. Not really. The Pirates of Dark Water.
Oh God, I don't even know that one.
Oh my gosh! I'm gonna let you borrow it. So, I'll set the scene.
Uh-huh.
You have these people.
Fair.
And they're... I don't even know how to set this up. So there's 7 jewels. And these 7 jewels are strewn about the world. It's not Earth. And whoever finds these 7 jewels becomes the master of the world or the master of the universe, whatever. There's a lighthouse's owner's son who somehow takes up the realm and says, I am going to find the 7 jewels. And he's got his father's sword, but his father's sword has been cut in half, so he's got a sword that's like that long. Not worldly. There are mutant kind of people in it. There are humanoids in it. There are humans in it. But there's this stuff called dark water. I got a
trailer. You want to watch it?
Yes. Come on, so that wormy thing coming out of the ocean is called a Leviathan, which is equal to the name of a novel by Thomas Paine. Was it Thomas Paine? Maybe.
No.
Thomas Paine?
I don't know.
It's not Thomas Paine. I get Paine and Locke confused. Anyways, Dark Water. Everybody's like, the Pirates of Dark Water. It's like, what's Dark Water? Let me tell you, boy, what Dark Water is.
Okay.
Dark Water is like, imagine an oil slick
Uh-huh.
that is a zombie.
Oh.
Okay? All right? So you got this dark goo floating in the water, but it has a mind of its own and it will kill you.
Oh.
I love this show. They used to make toys for it. It was my favorite show ever. I want to see a reboot. Who's our sponsor tonight, Mr. Cack? Because I want to implore them to make a reboot of this.
It's now Pirates of the Dark Water.
Okay.
Brought to you by 1 minute and 21 seconds of Pirates of the Dark Water. Tonight's episode is brought to you by Barnyard Commandos and High on the Hog. Master Sergeant High on the Hog.
Yes, sir, Master Sergeant.
High on the Hog.
Well, what's next? I've got about
I think that's it.
10 minutes left.
Oh, actually, cartoon. So let me run through some things. So if I wanted to see another cartoon, honestly, real Ghostbusters is the only thing I really want to see added
Hell
to.
yeah.
But now, like nostalgia kicks. I would say, like Rocko's Modern Life is a pretty good one, but they actually brought that back.
I was gonna put that on the list.
They actually brought that back to some
Wild
degree.
Thornberries.
Wild Thornberries is good. Darkwing Duck's coming back, as we've already discussed, and I think that's good. Tom and Jerry's coming back. Yeah, Tom and Jerry's coming back. So who was it? Alburo Man said Chips and Dale. Chip and Dale are actually in an episode of the current rebooted DuckTales. So there's a chance they will be rebooted. And I would love to see that. Because sometimes some crimes go slipping through the cracks, but these two gumshoes are picking up the slack. There's no case too big, no case too small. When you need help, just call Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. Chip and Dale's when there's danger.
I don't know. It was there was a sunken pirate ship where Dale liked all the food, and Chip was like in Monterey Jack, and Zipper and Gadget couldn't get down there, and he was like, my son was like, Dad, what the hell is this? He didn't say that exactly. He was like,
He gave you
I'm
that
bored.
look.
I'm like, no, watch it till the end. He's like, can we just play chess?
Yeah. So Albuterol Man also said Tailspin. I think that's a good one. I think there's a lot of fun having Baloo back. I think Baloo's just a fun character to have around.
Yes. Yes. Very spiritual.
Let's
that
see.
Baloo.
Inspector Gadget would be kind of interesting.
Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Inspector
Inspector
Gadget.
Gadget.
Ba-ba-ba-da-ba-dum-bum-bum.
Ooh. Ba-ba-bum-dum-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum-bum. Ba-da-da-bum-bum.
I don't want to sound like a pervert or anything, but like way back when I was a child, when I was watching Inspector Gadget, I had such a crush on the cartoon Penny.
Which isn't weird at the time, right? Because you were closer to what the age of the
wasn't
character.
then. No,
Yeah.
now I'm like, I had sex with the cartoon.
There are thoughts to be had about that.
I didn't.
But we
I
can't. But
didn't-
listen, it's 2020.
But I
We're
thought about it.
we're above kink shaming. It's 2020. We're above kink shaming. Did our stream die
Kink
again?
shaming. I like it. I
No,
like
there's
it.
Rooster. Sup, bitches? What up, Rooster?
Rooster.
Rooster, we're talking about my. Oh, Rooster resubscribed for 13 months.
Is this the time where I tell him Notre Dame is better?
Ooh.
I'm just kidding, Rooster.
Oof. Oof.
Rooster, I'm sorry. I haven't been to the strip club tonight, but I'm drunk, and I don't even like Notre Dame. I like Ohio.
Rooster.
I do like Indiana though.
Rooster, well, so that's the game I really want to see. I want to see Indiana versus Roosters, the Ohio State. I think that's going to be a really good game this weekend if it happens. If it happens. That's unfortunately the caveat for every college football game right now. I would love to see this game if it happens. There was already like 15 games postponed or canceled as of yesterday, so I can't imagine like what the attrition rate looks like right now. But what about this? LSU, if the game happens. There was a lot of COVID-related Arkansas player stuff. Ohio State will still not make it to the playoffs. They will get snubbed each year. Albuterol, man, what?
Because they can't hang with the SEC.
All Real Monsters.
Yes,
What do you
I
think
said
about
it.
that? What do you think about that, Jared? All Real Monsters? You bring that back?
What's that?
All Real Monsters? Do you remember All Real Monsters? You had Crumb. You had Crumb, the monster with like the armpit hairs that stuck out. And he was smelly.
Yeah, yeah.
And he had like an actual visible ass crack, and he held onto his eyeballs.
Yeah, dude, that's wow. I'm old.
He had like the weird hairy ass like that. I don't know if that flies in 2020, but 1990 something, we had full on depicted hairy butt cheeks as one of our characters.
I'm not that old. Well,
I'm not that drunk.
I'm not that damn old. 19-year-olds would disagree, but it's like at 37, man, I feel like I should remember that, and I do. Like I see visions of it, but I'm like, I couldn't tell you what it was about.
It's just literally so what? It's a school drama where it's monsters learning how to scare. It's literally the premise of Harry Potter, but with monsters.
All right. Yes, Harry Potter Saturday morning ABC.
So I don't want this back because I didn't really care about it, but Freakazoid apparently is making a return.
Freakazoid
on
runs around in underwear
on Teen Titans Go. So there's currently a show called Teen Titans Go on Cartoon Network, and Freakazoid will be making an appearance in an episode of Teen Titans Go.
I'm in.
Sonic the Hedgehog. We need another Sonic the Hedgehog. Not the Sonic Adventures or Sonic's X bullshit that happened. Go back to when he was eating chili dogs and he was in a world of actually Sonic. So not set in our real world where there's like tanks and humans and it's all fucking weird. Go back.
Emerald City, baby.
Go back to when he was either, you could go deep to the one that used to come on USA where they were like the crudely drawn characters and like like it was all these abstract designs and it was Dr. Robotnik basically just taking over. They never really specified what that world was called. Or yes, the more gritty Sonic the Hedgehog that came on like the 90s Saturday Morning where Emerald City was the setting and like there was like the animal creatures. We're like, oh, hey, they have personalities. Oh, fuck, they just got turned into robots. Dr. Robotnik just borged the shit out of these characters.
Wow, that was a quick episode. I'll watch it either way. I love Sonic.
Beetlejuice. Would you like to see a cartoon reboot of Beetlejuice?
Damn. No.
I kind of liked the Beetlejuice cartoon. It was a little bit weird.
I did like the cartoon. The cartoon was so much more funny than the movie. The movie was like, when I watched it as a kid, I was like, I don't like this. This is scary. But the cartoon was like, hey, Beetlejuice is fun. He's not dead. He's just your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd watch it if it came out. That's where most of the freaking toys came from was the cartoon, not the damn movie.
Yeah.
I had so many Beetlejuice toys. I wish I still had them. They'd be worth at least $9 now. But he had the hair, the hat with the thing that goes
carousel,
round and round. Yeah, carousel. That's the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I liked it enough that I would probably watch it again because I'm a cartoons guy, man. Like Bugs Bunny. I still love Looney Tunes now, and they were made in the freaking 30s and 40s, colorized, by the way. And on up into the 60s, and you can tell the difference, by the way. You can tell the difference, by the way, in between the 50s before and the 60s because the music gets all shitty. You could tell, and Tom and Jerry too, by the way. If you ever watch a Tom and Jerry episode, you can tell whether it's made in the 60s and 70s or whether it's made in the 50s and 60s or 50s and 40s by the amount of LSD you hear in the music.
Oh. Hey, speaking of LSD and music, do you remember the Transformers cartoon movie that came out in like the late 80s?
Oh, shit.
It was very emotionally fucked up because, where is it? Spoiler alert for a 1989 cartoon film of Transformers. Where is it? Right there.
It is right there.
Where it was really fucked up because they killed like every main character. Optimus Prime dead. Most of the Autobots dead. Technically, Megatron dead. Granted, rebirthed as Galvatron. Still, Megatron, the character, died. Galvatron wasn't necessarily Megatron. Starscream survived. Starscream, little shit, survived. So
I wasn't as big a fan.
But speaking
I
of,
probably should have.
Yeah, no, it was weird. But so speaking of LSD music, do you remember how that soundtrack was literally just Weird Al, and how there was a song called "Dare to Be Stupid," and that was the montage song used for this film, where you just saw like Optimus Prime died, and now it's this fucking stupid song is playing, and there's like Transformer hillbilly redneck Mad Max characters. Like there was a lot happening in that. And the original Transformers, there was a lot of drugs happening in that, because I have the DVD for the first season of the original animation, and it's literally like 30 seconds, flashing lights, transition to a new scene. 30 seconds, some dialogue, flashing lights, transition to a new scene. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? How did I watch this?
They had taken some pills.
But I loved it at the time, and I still kind of love it. But man, there was a lot of shit going on. What about gummy bears? They're bouncing here and there and everywhere. Would you like to see gummy bears come back?
No, not really.
Would you like to
be honest?
Would you like just to eat gummy bears?
Listen, it's 11:26.
Sure.
I feel like we've exasperated our resources.
Okay, one last question.
Anybody who could have got it in before then should have got it in.
One last question.
Right now,
then.
if you introduce a new topic, I'm like, pfft.
Well, I mean, Gummy Bears is still the 90s cartoon. But what about this 90s cartoon?
Gummy Bears or Care Bears?
No, there's both. But Gummy Bears. You don't remember Gummy Bears?
No.
Oh, well, let's look at that right quick.
Should.
Right quick. Get the
quick is slow.
Dashing and daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly with stories to share.
Oh,
All through the forest they sing out in chorus, marching along as their song fills the air. Gummy bears,
Those little motherfuckers bouncing everywhere. There's a fucking dragon in that lake. They're living in a goddamn tree.
That's with gummy bears.
magic and mystery are part of their history.
I there's something about making a cartoon based on a candy is like a weird concept, right? So how that ties into the candy, I don't know. But what they do is to give them their powers is they drink this gummy juice, which is literally just a red juice that makes them bounce. And the bounce has like this weird sound of boom, boom. And they just become like super bouncing motherfuckers. So, you know, essentially like what the candy was, right? It ties perfectly into the candy. But so that's interesting. But there's an episode of the rebooted DuckTales that they use the gummy juice, and they actually talk about the mythology of the gummy bears, where this actually is something that is now taking place in there. But last thing, what about this? Do you want a reboot of this?
Yo, it's the Mario Brothers, and plumbing's the game. Found the secret water zone while working on the drain. Lend the princess a hand in the mushroom land. Join the action with the plumbers, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
All right, well, this has been Rage You Nerds. I am Mr. Cack. That's my brother Jared, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Love y'all.
All right, y'all have a good one. Rooster, I know you're sad, buddy, but you know our heart will go on. Alburo Man, Rooster, thank y'all so much for the resubscription. Revelation 666, thanks for showing back up, buddy. We hope your bar adventure was a good one. Kmart, thank you so much for stopping by and putting the
I don't know.
and putting the image of Billy from Stranger Things being murdered by a monster cock into our brains. Reno, thank you for being a sad sack of shit and showing up in our stream and just being a little biatch about everything, but we still appreciate you, buddy.
What's a bitch? He's a bitch. He's a bitch.
You know, near, far, wherever you are.
You are.
Okay, well, Jared.
At my heart will go.
Oh no, Rooster lost a close friend today. Oh shit, sorry, bro.
Well,
needed this
You
stream.
should have missed that earlier. Damn it! I don't have prayers.
And to be fair, Jared may have been getting a little tipsy, so we need to put that
Tipsy.
we need to put that sumbitch to bed. We need to put that sumbitch to bed. Check out my shirt. Okay, perfect. Jared, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We will be back 2 weeks from now, unless you and TJ want to do a Black Friday episode.
I'd like to, but we'll see what happens and who's drunk.
Okay, yeah, all right. So we may be back next Friday. We may not be back next Friday. But there won't be a sports stream on Tuesday, I don't believe. So sorry, but love y'all. Hope y'all have a good night. Rooster, sorry about your loss, buddy, for real. Everyone else,
Rooster,
have a good one.
I'm sorry.
Have a good one. We love y'all. Bye-bye.